Coming up on Film Nerd by Night.
I grew up with the original trilogy, was obsessed with the original trilogy. When the prequels were coming out, I liked them as a kid and as a teenager. The Force Awakens, I thought it was perfect for what the franchise needed. And then the franchise lost me. I can't believe that I've reached a point in my life where a new Star Wars movie is scheduled to hit theaters, and I really couldn't care less.
And now, the show.
All right, folks, I'm Cole Powell, musician by day, film nerd by night. On today's episode, I'm going to be checking out the trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu. This is the new Star Wars universe film. If you watch this on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, click the bell for notifications, hit the hype button, subscribe to the Film Nerd by Night channel. Also, go follow the Film Nerd by Night podcast and consider supporting us on Patreon for exclusive perks like early access to episodes like these and full-length movie reactions. So I think this is the first full-length trailer, but I think they did like a teaser trailer or something back last year that I did not check out. I had some stuff going on, I think, during that time. Was not doing YouTube. So I haven't seen anything from the film. I know there was some buzz about a Super Bowl spot where they did like kind of a spoofy thing where they're going through the snow on Tauntauns or something. I did not watch that. So I'm going in blind here. And I'll talk about my personal feelings of Star Wars after we watch the trailer. And if you're listening to this on the audio only, I'll try to kind of recap what we see visually after the trailer ends. So here we go. This is the Mandalorian and Grogu official trailer in theaters May 22nd. Looks good.
Never touch the buttons.
Okay.
I can use some information.
Sound
For
mixing.
this price, I'll tell you whatever you want.
I'm looking for a hut.
Close for the night. Thank you.
Extras.
Okay, the huts.
Long live the Empire.
We'll take out
I
every
don't
bad
know.
guy in your deck of cards.
Okay. Fighting
This
some
isn't
stormtroopers
about
there.
revenge.
Sigourney Weaver, okay. Ooh. Guess she's somebody from the old
It's
rebellion.
about preventing another war.
Strap in.
Okay, obviously they're trying to stop the Empire from reforming, looks like.
You will suffer. And then it will
Character
be his turn.
supposed to know. Another hut.
Before going into harm's way, check your armor. The kid will live centuries beyond me. I won't always be around to protect him.
Are you
Fighting a
scared?
hut of some kind?
You should be.
Do we run?
Oh, we got a sea serpent. I like the look
or
of
do we
that.
fight?
I like this kid.
That's a character from Rebels. His name escapes me.
What are you waiting for?
Oh, that was a real life alien version of one of the characters from the space chest that on the Millennium Falcon from the original.
Let's save the rest for after dinner.
And Grogu eating a green mint cookie. At the end. Okay, so if you're listening to this on the audio only, it definitely looks like a Star Wars movie. It looks more like a classic Star Wars movie, I feel like, which I feel like Force Awakens also kind of had that vibe. Jon Favreau's directing this, who also directed, or at least he didn't direct every episode in The Mandalorian Season 1, but he was the showrunner, the creator of the series. He's a really good director. It's following this storyline, apparently, of Mandalorian and Grogu out there being conscripted by the New Republic, which is essentially the former rebellion, to try to stop the Empire from rising up that we learned in the series was out there trying to keep the old flames of the Empire burning. And we know it eventually turns into the First Order from the sequel trilogy. And there was a lot of kind of deep cut fan callbacks, probably some that are so deep I didn't even get them. I saw a character from Rebels. I have not watched the Rebels series yet. I saw like the pilot episode when it first came out on Disney XD or something years ago. And one of those main characters, like he was on there. I also saw there toward the end a real live version of one of the creatures that's on the holographic chessboard in the Millennium Falcon from the original Star Wars. Also saw a four-armed creature that looked really familiar, and I'm trying to remember, was there a creature like that on Rise of Skywalker or Solo? I remember Jon Favreau played a creature that's on Solo that's kind of in my head that I think it was Favreau. But anyway, I felt like there was probably a lot of material in there that was even deeper fan service than I got, because I'm not deep enough into it, at least anymore. So my history with Star Wars is I grew up with the original trilogy. Loved the original trilogy. Was obsessed with the original trilogy. I saw Return of the Jedi the first time when I was 2. And it's the only Star Wars movie that we had. We had it on VHS, where we had recorded it off of a broadcast. And I just watched it over and over and over and over and over again. And then I eventually saw the 2 movies preceding Return of the Jedi. And I was like, oh, now the Return of the Jedi makes even more sense. And I like Star Wars even more. When the prequels were coming out, I liked them at the time as a kid and as a teenager. But the older I got, the more I realized, like, okay, they're not great. They're certainly not up there with the original trilogy, but there are some great moments in there, and I still do enjoy those moments. And I've gone to see episode 1 and 3 in theaters for their anniversary re-releases in the last few years, and we'll probably go see episode 2, Attack of the Clones, also. The Force Awakens, I thought was great. I thought it was perfect for what the franchise needed. It harkened back to the original trilogy, kind of washed the bad taste of the prequels out of the mouths of the fans who were disappointed in those. And then the franchise lost me. Was not a fan of The Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker, I actually think, is in most ways better than The Last Jedi, but it was also pretty bad. And I just did an interview with somebody for one of my other podcasts, and we ended up talking about Star Wars on the thing. And I mentioned a critic review I had read. I thought it just summed it up perfectly, which is this critic had never seen a trilogy whose movies seem to actively hate each other. And that's the way I felt about the sequel trilogy. During the middle of all this, Disney Plus launches, Mandalorian comes out, and the first season is really, really good. I think it's held back from being great by some of the filler episodes. I feel like if you're going to do a serialized story like this, it needs to be tight, and I think it would have been much tighter if it had been like a 5-episode season instead of, I can't remember how many they had now, like 7, 8, 9, whatever. I think it was 8, actually. But I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was well done. Jon Favreau heading that up just did a tremendous job. The second season of Mandalorian, I watched, and it was just fillerific. It was even more filler than the previous season. I didn't feel like it was tight at all, and I really didn't care about the characters. They end up in Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, which I thought was pretty bad. Halfway through that season, they turned into the Mandalorian season 2.5. And I ended up, I watched Obi-Wan's last Star Wars anything I watched. And I just haven't been a fan. So I don't even know what happened on the third season of Mandalorian because I haven't watched it. But I will say this, there was nothing in that trailer that made me feel like I had missed much by skipping the third season. So that trailer really didn't do much for me. What did hook me in that trailer were the callbacks to the aesthetics of the original trilogy. I mentioned they had that alien creature who was a real-life alien version of the hologram that we had seen in the chessboard on the original Star Wars, and there's probably Star Wars fans out there who could tell me exactly what that alien creature is, particularly if it was addressed in like the expanded universe stuff back in the day before Disney kind of wiped that out. But a little bit of stuff, seeing the stormtroopers. Other than that, I really just am not interested in the movie. And I can't believe that I've reached a point in time in my life where a new Star Wars movie is scheduled to hit theaters in just a few months. I didn't even know when the release date was, and I really couldn't care less. So I'm not trying to hate on the franchise. I know there's going to be some people out there that have been following it, that still follow it, that love the second season of Mandalorian, have watched the third, but I'm not one of those people, and this just did not make me want to get back into the Mandalorian or really the Star Wars universe at all. So maybe I'm in a minority here. Let's see how many views does this have? This was the official Star Wars channel. The teaser trailer that came out 5 months ago on the official Star Wars channel has 12 million views. This teaser came out 7 days ago. It has 10 million views. So there's obviously some interest, but that seems really low for a Star Wars picture. I don't know. I just feel like this is not really gonna bring a lot of fans to the theaters, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm gonna be skipping this one. So what do y'all think? Are y'all big Star Wars fans? You love The Mandalorian. You've watched all the seasons. You can't wait for this movie. Or are you a little bit more like me and haven't been really able to get into Star Wars over the last few years and aren't really hooked by this new trailer? Let us know in the comments wherever you're watching this. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe to the Film Nerd by Night channel, because I may put this on a couple of different channels. Comment, hit the hype button. Also follow the podcast, Film Nerd by Night podcast. Consider supporting us on Patreon. And we'll see you next time.
Film Nerd by Night, created and hosted by Cole Powell. Theme, Beautiful Now, written and performed by Cole Powell, a Randomine Records production. Section 107 of U.S. copyright law allows for the fair use of copyrighted material for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, parody, or research.